What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Scevoli Tonight Show, guys. It's like Jimmy Fallon's show, but he's not here. You get this guy, and that's all we can say about it. And it's a Star Wars show, so it's all Star Wars related. Welcome back. We have a very special guest. He's played in Mandalorian, Book of Boba, Ahsoka, so many characters. I can't count them on my 10 fingers that I have. I need 11th and 12th because this guy is an amazing stunt worker. He kills it every time he's on screen. And he's just an amazing guy. And look at him. He's handsome, He's better looking than me. Not really, but, I just got to say the nice things. Dmitriy, everybody. Welcome to the Scevoli
What's up, Dale? Thanks, man. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
We bow down to you, Dmitry. But how are you, my friend? How's everything?
I'm doing really well, man. Things are going really well at home. Getting some fun auditions here and there. Hopefully some new fun stuff that I'll be able to talk about sooner than later. And yeah, things are good.
I hope so. How I know I've seen your Instagram. You've been posting about cons and everything. How is that going? How is it meeting everybody, meeting the fans, signing autographs? How is that experience like?
This year has been really good. I started doing conventions and like autograph signings in 21, like pretty much right after the COVID regulations eased up. I was at like some of the the very first conventions to start back up in like Texas, and did a few my first year, then quite a bit in 22, and then last year was pretty quiet with like everything that was going on in the film industry. I just kind of decided to sit out that entire period and didn't really go out. I had a few offers here and there, but I wasn't feeling up for it, But this year has been going super great. I've gone to some really amazing places and met some really cool people, tons of fans that have been just, amazing and welcoming in their hometowns and come out to visit and say hi. So it's been a great year.
Wait till you meet me, Dmitry. That's the real test.
Next time.
You got to come around the Jersey area. I don't know if you'll be you were just in the Jersey area. I saw May 19th.
That's right.
I was like, how did I miss that? I was like, how I must have been busy because I was like, I want to really meet Dmitry. And I was like, I think you were in the PA area or the New Jersey area?
I was in New Jersey on Sunday, but we actually did a whole little tour of the East Coast. It was my first time actually visiting the East Coast at all, okay. And so we did a whole little like New England trip. I flew into Massachusetts. We did an event like a comic store in New Hampshire. Then did another one in Massachusetts the following day, another one in Connecticut, and then we ended up in New Jersey on Sunday morning for a convention that entire day. So it was a fun weekend for sure. I can't believe I in such a short time went through 5 different states. And so that was an interesting experience. I'm in Los Angeles, and in California you can't. 5 hours, you're still in California, so
can't just do that in California.
No.
But Dmitry, you've been throughout the Star Wars universe, almost every character. Just not the main ones yet. Not yet. But you've been a Mandalorian. I have them down. You've been a Mandalorian, a Stormtrooper, a Night Trooper, a Tuscan Raider, a goatle. I think I say goatle. A Pyke Syndicate guard, Pointy Chin, and a Coruscant. How do you say a Coruscant?
Mimban,
Celestian, whatever. You've been all those characters. How do you keep up with that? Like I lost my train of thought.
I kind of lose track too. If I was to try to name all of them, I think I'd probably lose track too.
That's crazy. Now because it's different every time, because it must be different for you because the Stormtrooper and a Night Trooper are kind of like the same thing. It is the same thing.
Yeah.
A Tuscan Raider, a goatle. Now, how is it, because we talked about this before, playing a Pointy Chin? Describe what that is to the people that don't know what it is.
Pointy Chin was a pretty cool character. He was used in season 3 in all of the city scenes, and all the Navarro, specifically referring to. And he was a really fun character to play. First of all, he looks really cool. He looks like a bounty hunter, and there's not really a better way to describe him than his kind of code name, which is Pointy Chin, and his whole face just comes down to a
it's
big,
like the Crimson Chin. It's from like
solid chin.
Jimmy Turner. No, not
Right.
Jimmy Turner, right? Is that from Jimmy Turner? Fairly Odd Parents?
Yeah, for our parents,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, Fairly Odd Parents.
But he was a really cool character. He was one of the kind of protectors of Navarro during a lot of the conflict there that was going on with the pirates and their entire like relocation, and it was definitely a fun character to play. It was very much humanoid. A lot of the characters, even aliens, are very, very humanoid. So there's not with someone like Pointy Chin, there wasn't a whole lot of different like movement patterns because he's just a dude.
With a chin.
Just a badass dude with a gun.
With a chin.
With a pointy chin, exactly.
Now, playing all these characters, and do you get when you're in the auditions, or if you just get the role, do they tell you what you're playing, or like Star Wars? I know is very secret with the names; they use code names and stuff like that. So when you sign up for it, do you know what you're gonna be, or you know when you walk into the studio? Okay, Dmitry, you're gonna be Pointy Chin today, and you'll be like, "Oh, what is that?" Do you like? Is it like that? Is that like that kind of stuff, or you already know from the audition you're gonna play like a Mandalorian, a Night Trooper, and they just give it to you here? You're just gonna here's the backstory of it, and
It definitely depends. I've had both situations happen. I've had actually stuff change when I got there, where I thought I was doing something. I was expecting to do one thing because it was already told to me preemptively, and then when I got there, everything had changed, and now all of a sudden, oh hey, you're going to be somebody else. So I was a shore trooper at one point in season 2 of Mandalorian, where something like that happened, and it just happens to be a large group of troopers, and you need regular stormtroopers, you need sand troopers, you need shore troopers, you need the transport troopers, and there's just needs to be a big mix of everybody, and so stuff does change on the fly. In a lot of cases, I know what I'm showing up for, but the very first time that I connected to Star Wars in general, back in season 1 of Mandalorian, I had no idea because of the secrecy that's surrounding all the Disney, and Lucasfilm projects. It's like even the people who are already there don't know necessarily what's going on. So everything is held extremely tightly. So like the PAs don't even know what's going on that day in a lot of cases. And so when I got the job originally, so like 7 years ago, something like that, I thought I was coming in for like a military job. I'm generally clean shaven, I have short hair, so I do a lot of military stuff, like police or firefighter, that kind of stuff. And when I got hired for the job originally, it was to be a soldier. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna show up, probably get a haircut, be in the Army or Marine Corps, whatever. And then I show up and there's just boxes and boxes and boxes of white armor everywhere. And I'm looking around like, what? Is this a joke? I'm actually going to be a stormtrooper in Star Wars? And, and then I've been back and forth on all these shows now for, like I said, since like late 2017. And, made a good impression when I was there for the first bit, and then started getting asked to do more and more different characters, and Legacy FX came to me directly in season 2 and asked me to come and try on some of their masks that they didn't really have people to fit into, and I kind of got lucky. I have a bit of a narrow head that I fit into, and well, a little bit. But yeah, I ended up fitting a lot of their masks, and it was great. I came in and there was just like a buffet line of masks, and tried a bunch of them on, pretty much like fit everything but maybe like one or two, and they're just, all right, cool. You'll be hearing from us pretty soon. So, yeah.
That's awesome because it's like now on that table that the 10 masks, which ones did you pick to try on? Do you remember?
They had me try on all of them. They really
okay.
they just were testing to see whatever I could fit into.
Okay.
And then the things that I did fit for, that's what they ended up bringing me back for in the future.
Okay.
So I don't remember how many masks there were. I think maybe like 6 or 7 different ones, but that's what they needed for the time being. And then from then it kept expanding into more and more things for like the future season. And then on Book of Boba Fett was a different set of stuff that I portrayed. Same with Ahsoka. So the only thing that I didn't do any aliens on was Kenobi. So that was just a Stormtrooper. Yeah.
Now, how in the makeup department when you're fitted for it and everything, how long does that take for you? Because I guarantee you, like being a pointy chin or a goatle, like it takes time, or it takes like maybe an hour. What's the longest you've sat in the chair?
So the characters that I've played actually don't have prosthetics. Those are all masks. They're made out of different material between like latex and sometimes silicone. But yeah, those are just masks. They're just like pull on.
So you just put them on.
Yeah. But okay. I have done prosthetics for other projects, and it can take a long time if you're having like actual like character makeup done. It could be several hours. If it's just like facial hair, that is not the quickest process either. They generally try to do it very precisely, and they match you with like the different, with like a hair color that matches for you, and try to blend the facial hair to your face, and also if you're getting a wig put on at the same time. So like it can be a solid like hour or so just for hair. But if you're doing costume makeup, character makeup, that can be, depending on how intricate and how detailed the character's face is, like it could be several hours.
Oh wow!
And that's before you even start your day of work. So, and that's another
like 4 a.m. You get out at 11, and then you have a whole day of work. That's tiring.
Right.
That's tiring. So what's it like on set of a Star Wars project? Like I would be like geeking out, touching everything, pressing buttons that I'm not supposed to, blows up the whole facility. Like I would be like, what does this button do? Like a push me button. Like what's it like to work? I know you worked on Ahsoka. I know you worked on the Book of Boba and Mando. I don't know if did you meet any of like the actors or actresses like a Rosario or Pedro Pascal? I don't know if Pedro Pascal was on set, maybe season 2, I think he might have been, because he did the reveal of his face and everything. So I don't know if he was on the first season. I know he's the voice of Mando, but he's not much in the suit. Brandon Wayne, he's amazing as Mando in that suit. Yeah, and I think Lateef Crowder's, I think that's his name.
Yep, Crowder.
He does an amazing job as Mando too, and other ones. Barry does a great job. But what's it like? What's like, are you geeking out secretly? Or I know you got to keep it professional. I know that.
Sure. But, I'm not. I feel like I've never really been one to get like starstruck or anything. It's certainly fun being on Star Wars just because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
But as far as like working with these other actors, that's like, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really affect me the same way. There are people who have shown up and they have definitely made it a little more of a made a bit more of a point about it, and we're a little more enthusiastic, let's say, and some that went a little bit too far didn't end up coming back.
Okay.
So, like you said, you do want to keep it professional, and it's not that they did anything wrong, but it's just like if you're going to be there consistently, you do have to just be professional. It is a job. Everybody does like to have fun, like all the actors, the big names that you listed, like they all enjoy to laugh and play around and be goofy. But then when it's time to film, it's time to film, and you kind of you put a break on it.
Now, what is, I know you've been all these characters that we named in the beginning of the show. What is your favorite one to play? Like, do you have a favorite one? Do you have like that memory where you put the mask on and you're like, yeah, this is my character? Like, do you have those moments
I
when you
did.
play a Mandalorian? Because I know the Mandalorian must be really fun, flying with a jetpack, like having a Mandalorian uproar against Moff Gideon and his squad, you know, and a night trooper, like with Thrawn.
Right.
Who wouldn't want to, like Grand Admiral Thrawn? Like that's our boy right there.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like,
The Night Trooper stuff was a lot of fun. That just we weren't really expecting. There was a couple of people who were there that we work with that are really big fans that were familiar with the expanded universe. I'm not one of them. So when all of this came about with like the Night Troopers and the Night Sisters and Thrawn, I was familiar with the general like those characters, but I had no idea what it was going to be. So when we started getting resurrected in the middle of the day on the job, I was definitely pretty blown away. Everybody, nobody knew that was coming, and that was a lot of fun for sure. But I think my favorite character that I got to, at least that embodies the specific scenario that you just described, the marble mimban with the black things in his eyes that you mentioned earlier. That guy was a lot of fun. I put that on, and first of all, I was geeking out with the costumer that I was working with directly when he was coming up with that, or putting together that outfit. And this guy's just kind of like an underground sleazeball, and he's wearing like bell bottoms, like a tie-dye long sleeve turtleneck shirt with a leather jacket over it with like tight leather gloves, and he's the guy you don't want to, you might not want to meet him, but maybe you do. He's probably got some fun stuff to sell you. Getting to play him in the subway and just being like a generally kind of low life character was a really fun time. Like I literally felt like I was in the 70s strutting around with like Staying Alive just playing on repeat in my head the entire time. And they wanted me to play it up too, exactly like that, where I was giving people a hard time on the subway in Coruscant. And I even had some people behind the camera come up to me throughout the filming, which very rarely happens. But they were commenting on the costume and how I was playing that character, and just how much they enjoyed watching it, because it's it was a little like you don't see that kind of character on Star Wars all that often. And I was really happy that got to be me, and I really wish I had more time with that guy.
Maybe you will. Maybe they'll have like him being like a bounty hunter or something like that, like a smuggler or something like that.
Maybe.
I bet you, Dmitry, there's a video in the Star Wars archives of you dancing to Staying Alive in that costume. It might be.
It's
possible.
Find out. It is possible.
I will find it, and I will post it, and I'll be like, "This is Dmitry Staying Alive." And his
that did happen. That did happen. I mean, the music wasn't playing, but I was dancing throughout parts of the day. But we'll see. I would love for something like that to come out, man. It was a lot of fun.
Now,
honestly, one of my. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was like, is that your favorite scene then? Playing that guy and being in that scene, or you have another favorite scene, like playing another character in Star Wars?
Yeah, I think my favorite scene would still have to be, with everything that I've done. It was still one of the earlier things that I did on Star Wars, which was the Stormtrooper shooting Grogu in season 2.
You were that one?
Yeah, I was that guy. So that was definitely a highlight of mine.
Wow, that's terrible to me.
Yeah. And I do it again.
Wow, that's hurtful. That's our Grogu you're hurting.
Hey man, I'm a Stormtrooper, yo. Dark side. Dark side all the way.
Now, how is it like working with Grogu? You just said you worked with him. How was that like working with Grogu?
Working with Grogu has been interesting. It's always fun to watch the puppeteers control Grogu. Obviously, it is a puppet, and the movements are very. I don't know how to describe exactly, but I feel like maybe old school is a good way to describe them. Like they still kind of feel like the way Yoda used to move around in the originals, where it's a little clunky and jerky movements. Nothing is smooth. But then watching it happen on purpose, like there are animatronics out, like the technology exists to make smooth motion, and yet we're still purposely, the puppeteers are still purposely controlling Grogu in such a way to call back to to Yoda and those puppets of decades back, and it's really fun to watch them because there's a lot of people controlling that one puppet for the different directions that it can move, and like the arm movements, the body movements, the head movement, like that's all somebody different controlling a small part of it, and it's really fun to watch all of that, like all the people simultaneously with a separate controller in their hand making this one puppet move. It's really cool.
Wow, that's awesome. Because I know there's a lot of puppeteers. There's probably like 10. Like, is that even like good 10, or they have more?
On Grogu specifically?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's that many, but I wouldn't even tell you how many specifically there are.
Oh, okay.
But there could be a lot of puppeteers going simultaneously with between Grogu and like a couple of droids, a couple of other animatronics that are in the same scene. So there might be a bunch of puppeteers at the same time doing multiple characters, though.
Oh, okay. So my next question to you, Dmitry, is what's it like playing a Mandalorian? What is that like? Because you're front and center with all the Mandalorians. You're one of the tribe now. Do you know what tribe you're from in the Night Owls and stuff like that?
I was one of the Mercs briefly. I wasn't in the I was one of the blue ones.
Oh, okay.
So I was one of the Mandalorian Mercs. As far as the Mandalorian, I was there in that character for only a few scenes. But wearing that outfit, man, like you're still a Mandalorian, dude. Like it's so badass, and they're such awesome characters that like I love that they're getting more. Obviously, like Boba Fett was a huge character right from the beginning and did like this much in the actual movies, but that mystique created this whole additional story surrounding these characters, and again, kind of throughout the expanded universe, like so much happens to them because they're such a huge like force throughout the Star Wars universe, and it's just really cool to get to be a part of their small piece of their history, because they've done a lot of pretty gnarly stuff throughout their years. So
definitely, and I would have been walking around with my Mando just bumping into people and starting to fight, just fight them on purpose. Like, yeah, beat me up. You can't touch me, and they'll hit you. It's like chest plated and everything. I would have, Dmitry. I think we should switch jobs. You should come here. I'll go there. Let's switch. Come on, we could do it.
We'll check something out.
Well, don't worry. I work with children, so I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
So I think it'll be fine. You just put this Mandalorian stuff on, you're good. They might like try to take it off. They might like knock on it and stuff, but you'll be fine. I'll give you that. But Star Wars is such a big universe, and I'm so happy that you've played from the 3 big live action shows, The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba, and Ahsoka. But my next question to you, Dmitry, is we're big Star Wars fans. I don't know if you were a Star Wars fan before you came on the Star Wars scene, but what are your top 3 favorite Star Wars movies?
So I actually was not the biggest Star Wars fan. I still don't really think I consider myself a huge Star Wars fan. I always appreciated it for what it has done to like the technology that was produced for it, and like just everything that it's done for the film industry has been amazing. Especially back in the 70s when it just came out, it was just like nothing like it. But I've I've seen all the movies, and I'm pretty much caught up on the various series. And the only thing I haven't really watched much of the animated stuff. I've seen one season of Bad Batch, which I actually really enjoyed.
You gotta watch it. It's all good.
I've heard great stories. It's just so much of it. It's a little difficult to sit down and dedicate the time to that. Currently, I'll probably eventually get around to it at some point. But let's see, top 3. I've always gotten asked like what my favorite one is, and I think Rogue One is my favorite. I think if I had to say top 3, it would probably be Rogue One. I think probably Rogue One, New Hope, and probably Revenge of the Sith. Yeah,
that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Now, why Rogue One? Because I know a lot of people liked it and didn't like Rogue One. They didn't like the Andor series.
That's right. I actually have not seen Andor yet. I have not seen Andor.
Andor is a little slow. I can tell you that. It's a little slow to get into because there's no Jedi. It's just like, I could say
politics.
It's like a James Bond like type show. That's why I can say it. It's very good. I didn't finish it because I felt like it was too slow for me. Like it wasn't like picking up. Maybe I'll finish it because season 2 is supposed to come out. But why do you say Rogue One? What did you like about Rogue One?
I just thought it was a really fun movie. It took me a long time to watch it, surprisingly. I watched it actually at an event that I was at, specifically like a Star Wars Day, where they were screening it. And so it took me a while even still after that, because I really enjoyed that at the screening, but I wasn't able to, because there was so much else going on, I wasn't able to like sit down and really focus on it. There were people still coming up to talk to me, and just a lot of stuff going on. But everything I saw while we were watching it, I was like, hey, this is surprisingly like cool. Like I really enjoyed it. So then I eventually sat down and watched the whole thing on my own. And I just think it's a good movie. Like even if it wasn't really connected to the Star Wars universe, it would be a good movie on its own. Being within the Star Wars universe and all of the like everything that it covers, it's a fun heist. It was just a lot of fun. Like the animation, the graphics are really good. The space combat is a lot of fun. So it was just a joy to watch. Yeah, I think it was a good movie.
It's a good Friday night watch.
Yeah.
Rogue One is a good movie. So my next question, Dmitry, is your top 3 favorite Star Wars characters and why?
Top 3 and why?
Dmitry's sweating over there.
I know, man. This is grilling me. So I guess Darth Vader is an easy choice. He's just got such a rad story from start to finish. For all the way from Anakin to Darth Vader and his ending. He goes through such a tumultuous existence. Like his entire life is just complete
disaster.
Like, yeah, total disaster. Exactly. And even being portrayed as the badass head honcho that he is in the original trilogy. There's nothing about his life that's like fun or happy. Like there's no, it's all just darkness and sorrow and pain, but like the development of that character from we get to see him as a little kid, all happy and spry and full of energy and everything, and then just like the full disaster that turns into. That was really cool to see. And top 3, I think Boba Fett is still got to be at the top for me. I don't fully love what his character turned into in the series, but I think there's still a lot of potential there. I don't know if they're ever going to come back to like a season 2 of Boba Fett, or if he's going to appear in in any of these like the movies that were announced. But I hope he does. it would be awesome to see more of that character, because he was just, he lit off so strong as just like the badass of the galaxy, and I would love to see more of his actual like fun adventures and the stuff that he was supposedly known for.
With that back.
Yeah, I want more badassery and less talking, more badass. But still, yeah, I think he's definitely the top there. Third character.
Got this to me. It could be yourself.
No way. No way. I think again, like Mando is kind of an easy response again, just because he gets into so much like the antics that occur throughout that entire series, and the situations that he gets into, and he's just never breaking a sweat. Like the guy is just either he has some sort of what?
He's never exhausted. He doesn't.
No, he's never exhausted. He's never tired. He's never under pressure. He's never breaking a sweat. Like either he has a severe emotional disorder where it doesn't affect him at all, and like just something along those lines, or he's just again that dude's just cool as a cucumber, man. Under any circumstances, he's got the way out. He's got the plan figured out. And knows exactly what to do, and kind of gets the job done, and by any means necessary.
He can bring you in cold, or he can bring you in warm.
That's right.
That's what he can do. But my next question to you, Dmitry, is from all your characters you have played, you played a lot of characters through the Star Wars universe. Is there one particular character that you have a connection to, that you might have in your past or your real life, that something tragic has happened or something like that? You see yourself as one of these characters, or you're like, nah, they're all characters I play, I get the job done, and I walk out, and I'll see you later,
I think a little bit more towards the latter, just because, a lot of the majority of the characters that I played, there's not much of a backstory, like a history to these guys. With the Stormtroopers, nobody like concerns themselves with the life, the at-home life of a Stormtrooper. Nobody cares what happens to the Stormtrooper when they come home to their wife and kids, right? So you can make something up for them, but because it's not something that's like fully on screen and fleshed out, it's a little difficult to at least for me to fully connect like that. And I've had characters in other projects that I have had connections to because of who they were, or if I was doubling for a character, I could totally connect with the character that I was, or the actor and the character that they were playing. But yeah, within the Star Wars series so far. Yeah, I can't say that I've really had too much of a connection. But yeah, there's time.
Now, do you know? I know this might not. You might not know. You probably won't. You probably will, but you won't tell me. But do you know anything about the Mando and Grogu movie?
I wish, man. I don't. I have my fingers crossed that I'll hear from them at some point. Yeah, I have no idea. We have as much as you do. Everything that's been posted online is about as much as I know. So yeah, hope. My goal right now is to try to get onto the movie as I want my own character. I want a named character. Would be fun to have some dialogue. So that's the goal for the movie. It's been a blast filming on all the projects that I've already gotten to work on, that were all TV shows, and that's been amazing. But the movie status is that upper echelon, so that's definitely the goal right now.
Now, how is it like? I don't know if I asked you earlier. How's it like working with other other Mandalorians that are not the big, like I know Lisa does one, Lisa Glass. I know Roy Ross does one. How's it like working with those kind of co-stars?
Well, Rory and I have actually worked quite a bit as other characters too. I believe he was a Tuscan with me.
He's coming on the show,
and-
so I can't wait to have him on my show. He will be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, Rory's a good dude. Yeah, we've gotten to work quite a bit. He's definitely done some characters that we happened to be the same character when we were in a group, because we were on different sides of the Mando, tribalism, I guess. We never really worked together as Mandos, and like I said, I was at one of the mercs very briefly due to like scheduling issues and doing other characters, but. I mean, everybody on the show. It doesn't, it's not that they're Mandos or anybody else. People who are on that show, they come and they want to do a good job and play those characters and play them as best as they can and produce a solid project for the fans to get to enjoy. And I talk about this all the time when I get asked similar questions. Like people on these projects, the crew, everybody's just in a good mood and wants to. This on the same page, wants to create a as good of a product for the fans as they can, and when everybody's in a good mood on set, everything just moves so much smoother, and everybody's enjoying themselves, and the day goes by faster. There's less stress, and certainly less issues that come up.
Yes.
And that's very, very stark contrast to some other projects where people really are super stressed out and people are at each other's throats. There's yelling in every direction, and don't get me wrong, this isn't like every set or like constantly even on those sets, but it happens more often. I feel, at least from my experience being on all of these Star Wars shows, it happens a lot less on these, and that just feels good, man. You want to come to work, you want to spend time with people, and yeah, you want if it wasn't a good time, man, I wouldn't be coming back for 7 years. So
that's dedication right there. But Dmitry, thank you so much for coming on the Scevoli Tano Tonight Show.
Of course, man. Thank you so much for having me, dude.
You're an amazing person. I cannot wait to see more work of yours. I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you, man.
All your work. Well, my one more question, then I'll let you go. What's next for you? Like, what is next for Dmitry? What can the viewers look out for? I know you can't really say if you're working on more Star Wars projects. I know you can't say that. But other than that, what are you looking forward to? I know you have cons coming up and stuff like that. So what's next for the Dmitry?
So I'm going to be at the Great Prop Swap this coming Saturday in San Diego. That should be a good time. Actually, Rory's going to be there too. There's going to be a solid lineup of some cast members that we had in LA, and I believe some prop makers and painter. So that should be a fun time. At the end of the month, I'm going to be in Dallas at Rebel Scum Con, and that's, I believe, the 22nd to the 24th of June. And
that's the new con that's came out.
That's gonna be all Star Wars. It's a huge lineup of Star Wars performers, not just from the series, but from like the original movies, and there's the lineup for Rebel Scum Con is dope. If you're a Star Wars fan and you're able to go to Dallas at the end of June, I would definitely check it out. And then July 12th through the 14th, I'm going to be in Miami for Florida SuperCon, Miami SuperCon, and really excited about that. That's going to be a first for me. I mean, I've been to some events in Florida, but SuperCon is going to be I think a dope time. Very stoked about that, and I think that's about what I have going on for cons right now. Something I am very excited about that's going to be hopefully coming out later this year is a Western that I got to work on last year, actually, while all the strikes unfortunately were happening, and I was fortunate enough to get to work on this really cool project. It's called Cottonmouth. It's a bit more of an indie Western, but really excited about it. I think it's going to be really badass.
When
there's
will
no,
that be out? Do you know when
no,
it will be
there's
out?
no. I don't think there's a date set yet, but I can send the information about it that I do have, and
Yes,
you can post that. That'd be awesome.
I will. Now,
And
anything else?
um,
You got to come to Rhode Island Comic Con.
nothing yet. Nothing yet. I think nothing yet that's been announced. So.
But before
I would
we go,
love to. I would love to come to Rhode Island Comic Con. That's definitely on the list.
It is. It's a good con. It's a very small con too. Like it's 3 days. It's like big guests and everything, but it's such a like small space like center. It's like wow. Like you can't even like some days you can't even really walk past. You're bumping into each other. It's crazy, that Comic Con. But I love going. But where can everybody find you on the social medias to keep in contact with you? Where can everybody find you at?
Mostly on Instagram at @I_D Karas, Karas. I'm pretty much just on Instagram. That's where you can find updates with like convention stuff, anything work related. Anytime I have any kind of announcements, film wise, that's where you find it.
That's where you find it. I will put all the links in the bio to go follow Dmitry. Dmitry, please let me know about Cottonmouth. I hope there's no cotton swabs. I hope there's no cotton in people's mouths.
No.
I don't,
Nah, it's a cottonmouth snake. Cottonmouth snake.
But thank you again, Dmitry, for coming on the show and talking Star Wars. You do amazing work. I can't wait to see where you're headed next in the Star Wars universe. I'm so excited to see. I hope you're in the movie. I hope you're a Mandalorian. I hope you're badass.
Hoping in the movie.
And I'll be like, I know him. He's a friend. But
Thanks,
thank you, Dmitry. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the Scevoli Tano Show, guys. Thank you for Dmitry. Thank you for everybody watching. Please subscribe down below to the YouTube channel, the Scevoli Tano Show. Just for me, because Dmitry's not going to be here, and his handsome self, he's not going to be here. I know. I'm sorry. I can't have him on the show, guys. I can. He can come back anytime he wants.
Thanks,
come back
man.
anytime, Dmitry. You're always welcome here. Be kind to one another, guys, and may the force be with you, my friends.
That's right.
Bye.
In my life, when you find people who need your help, you help them, no matter what.